All right, it is June 11th. My name is Matthew Bratko, and we are here at the DC protest march with Jane and Chris. I'm so sorry. Can you verbally consent to being a part of this interview?
Yes, no problem.
Yes.
All right, great. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, how old you are, where you're from, how you identify, if you choose to identify?
I have no idea. I'll start. Okay.
Yeah, Crespo from Pennsylvania, and been 50 years old now. Was part of the original march down here in '93, and back again. But I do this as part of my work and as part of my life because, frankly, everyone needs equality. But not only that, we need justice and liberty too. We've raised 3 beautiful children, and we, at this point, want them to have a better place than what we grew up with.
And you identify?
Oh, I identify. That continues to evolve. I identify as lesbian, but I've also taken on the queer identity as well now because the gender binary just doesn't fit. And in trying to work through that, I'm still working through what all those identities together mean. So I'm going more towards genderqueer and queer entirely.
Yeah.
And I'm Jane Switzer. I identify cisgender female. Used to identify bisexual, but that tends to evolve. I think I'm leaning more towards pansexual, understanding the new definitions. Chris and I have been together for 33 years. Also from Pennsylvania, obviously. What else would you like to know?
She's the proud mama. She not only carried our children, but helped get them on to success. They're now in an Ivy League college, doing really well. Triplets. And so we are
19.
We're looking back on all of this with how far we've come.
Yeah.
But how far there is yet.
And our own little plug, there's a movie coming out, premieres in New York next month called Families Like Yours, which we've been a part of that project. Keep your eyes open for it.
Yeah, well, can you tell me a little bit about being a part of that project?
A Argentinian film producer-director did a film in Argentina called Familias por Igual, which was Families Like Yours in Argentina. And the work that they did in Argentina helped move LGBT equality forward in Argentina. Now they did work with the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce here in this country, which Chris is a part of. She sat on their board of directors for a number of years. And once they completed the project in Argentina, they felt that this country was ripe for a similar movie. So they put together how many families? There's about 20 families. There's our family, which is a lesbian couple who conceived through donor insemination. There's a couple of guys who were in the military. They were each married to women at one point, came together, but they have children from those marriages. There's a wonderful story of a trans couple. They got married as a man and woman back in like the 1950s, had adult children. One of them transitioned from male to female, but they stayed together. Her wife, is quite eloquent in explaining that she fell in love with a person and that person is still the same person. There's another cute family in Florida, a couple of guys who through surrogacy had another set of triplets. Their triplets are like 2 years old. They start the movie, and our triplets who are 19 years old end the movie. Am I leaving anybody out? I'm sure I am. There's another amazing couple out of Florida.
They can catch the movie.
There you go.
Who have fostered LGBT youth.
No, but the NGLCC, the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, is helping to back it, but they're going to help distribute it as well. So anyone interested, that's where to contact people.
Cool. So having been a part of the movement for so long, how have you seen it grow and change? How is it different now?
We've been talking a lot about that today.
Yeah?
This is a good thing. Today's march is really rather boring compared to 1993. In 93, it was when we were last, well, not when we were last here, but one of the first ones we had done. It was much more angry, much more radical, much more colorful. Today, you've got old people, you've got young people, you've got pretty boring looking professional people. And this is what I think in 93 we had hoped to bring everybody out. Everybody who was in the closet back then seemed to be here today, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice problem to have.
Even though there's still the protests within the protests, if you will.
Now, how do you feel about the no justice, no pride?
I was going to say that I've been on the side that has seen how businesses help the LGBT community move things forward. I think there's still things that we can do to continue to be more inclusive of each other. But I think that's the only way that we're truly going to get there in the end, is to be inclusive of each other, and we need to learn to work together.
Yeah,
we can't be trying to solve all the world's problems.
We need to focus on what we have in common. We cannot fight among ourselves. And I think we were some of the ones early on, 20 years ago, trying to infiltrate those corporations, trying to make change from within. And instead of seeing it as the corporations taking over and controlling, I think it's a matter of the LGBT community has finally gotten in, taken control, and is using the resources of those organizations to make a difference and move things forward. I think it's a mistake to exclude them. You're excluding people like us who worked for decades to bring that power into the movement to make change. And to say they want no part of that is to say you want no part of us. We've worked to bring those corporations in to help the organization. I mean, Marriott put tens of thousands of dollars into this event, and there's good people at Marriott.
And I look at all the uniqueness that's here today even, and admittedly, I think there's much more involvement from everyone, of all ages, of all races, of all genders, of all gender identities, that I think are fabulous. So, just glad to be here again.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Can you just let my photographer grab that?
Okay, sure. Didn't want it to blow away.
Yeah. Well, can you tell me one thing that you are disappointed about in the queer movement in America today? Something that you wanted to happen? What?
The infighting. I mean, we're from Pittsburgh, and for decades there's always one group disagreeing with how another group is doing it, and they're staging their own separate activities and their own separate marches and their own separate festivals. It's like, just settle down.
Together.
We're stronger together. Absolutely.
And I hope that as a result of the current administration that's gone into the White House, that helps to bring us together a little bit more. But this was disappointing. The protest was disappointing down here. Just seeing that we need to be united. We need to make sure we're coming together if we're actually going to make progress beyond where we're at today. That's how we got here.
We expect the wackadoos from the religious right to be fighting us, but not ourselves. That doesn't help us at all.
Is there anything that I haven't touched on you guys like to talk about?
I did my undergrad. Wish you'd asked me that last night.
There's an element of this of we can't expect others to not hate us if we're hating others. So I think that as we continue to go on and talk about the things that we can do and that we want of others in order to get equality and love trumping hate, we need to remember that too. That sometimes people who have different opinions than us are the people we need to listen to and talk with the most. And rather than trying to make them change their mind, getting them to understand our stories. So I think sharing our stories.
The intersectionality is really important too, and that is, I think, relatively new. I think Black Lives Matter and the women's movement and helping those with disabilities, and that's critical to really making the change, because I think we're all fighting in some respects the same anonymity, the same, that we don't matter. We all matter. Not to be interpreted as all lives matter.
Yeah.
No. That's not what I'm saying. But, if we want people to help LGBT, we need to help the other folks who are struggling from the same discrimination.
Yeah, solidarity.
Absolutely. Better together.
Better together, and we need to unite.
Thank you so much for your
Sure.
time. This is fantastic.
Thank you, Matt.